back to my YouTube channel, Living with Keisha. So today we're going to do things a little bit different. Today I'm going to go over all the products that I use to do a brow tint, brow lamination, preparation, and stuff like that. So let's get into the video. Okay, so first things first is brow prep. I always ask my clients if they have oily skin or if they have dry skin. Reason being is it will make or break the brows itself. That way it gives it great longevity and they don't just have dry skin under those brows that we just literally permed or we just tinted. So if they do have oily skin, the first thing that I do is I make for sure that I wipe their brows with the saline solution. The saline solution takes away any oils, anything like that, so that way they don't have to worry about their skin being oily after their brows have been done. Next, I wash their brows with the eyebrow shampoo. So once we wash their brows with the eyebrow shampoo, then I proceed with the eyebrow primer. Once we're done with the eyebrow primer, then we can get started with the brows. Now, if they do not have oily skin and they just have dry skin, you just do the preparation simple. You just do the shampoo and you do the primer. Now, whenever you go to the next step for the lamination, that's whenever you change gears and you use your mayhem products. This is all Brunson. This will be your mayhem. So they do have the travel size packs. That way you can test them out to see if you do like them. The cost for these are $35. Shipping does vary depending on where you are. So first thing first, I apply this. Now it does depend on your hair. So what that just means is if you have thin hair, it is 6 to 8 minutes. If you have normal brows and they're thick, then it'll be 8 to 10 minutes. And then if you have very thick brows and they're curly, then it'll be 10 to 12 minutes. Now the time frame depends on you. If you notice that the brows are starting to lift and stuff like that before the time is up, you can go ahead and take the brows up and clean them off and stuff and proceed to the next step. If you notice that they need to stay under there a little bit longer, just close it back with that saran wrap and then let them sit for a little bit longer for the remaining time frame that is needed. Now whenever you do wipe off the brows, I use this for each step. It is the cotton rounds, and you can purchase these from Target. You can purchase them from the dollar store. So once you're done with that, between step 1 and step 2, I use Boo Beauty Bar's Deluxe Balm. It has moisturizer that it puts it back into the brows. This is not a necessity, but this is just what I use to do the brows. And this is what it looks like. It is $64 for this jar. It has this much in it. I use this and I leave it on there for 5 minutes. It is not a requirement to use this, but it is something that I feel like that helps me with the brows. So if you do want to purchase this, I will drop it in the comments down below. That way you can, or the description down below. That way you do have access to purchase it. Like I said, it is $64. So be aware of that. And shipping does vary depending on where you are. Now, after step 2, my step 2, I proceed to step 3. Step 3 is the brow sculpt, and this is what I use to sculpt the brows. I feel like whenever you use this, you want to make for sure that you sculpt the brows however you want to. It's in the name, so sculpt them to your liking, their liking. That way, once you are done, there is no confusion. The brows have already been set. So then after that, the recommendation from Brunson is you can apply the dye after step 3, my step 3. So my step 3, but your step 2, you can apply the dye after that. But honestly and truly, I do not do that personally. I don't think there's really a right or wrong way to do it, but that was just their recommendation. But how I do it is I apply my step 3, and then once I'm done with my step 3, that's when I apply the dye. So the dye does depend on the client and also the brows, what they're wanting and what their brows will look good with. When I do the dye, I use my brow paste, and I also use my brow string. I use the brow paste to apply it under here, and I use the brow string to map out the top to make sure that's what they're wanting for their tint, and making sure that their corners touching to touch. And you can refer back to the video that was just posted a couple of days ago. It says brow tutorial. It'll show you in that video how to sculpt them. Now, I do use this sometimes, but I don't use this all the time. It is not something that it's a requirement. It just has different colored dyes on the brows that you can use when you do your consultations. Now, it's not something that I would say that works every single time, because what I have noticed is you can use that, but then the colors do not match. So I do go based off of that, but I do not go based off of that when it's time to do their brows. And that's why I do consultations, because when it's time for the consultation, I'll give them the colors that they asked for, and then I'll also try to mix it a little bit to my liking. That way I know that that color that they did ask for matches the color that they seen on that clear thing. It gives off different tints, and so I want to make for sure that I'm providing the best service. One thing that I did notice personally is I prefer to mix my colors first, then add my developer. I feel like it oxidizes better and it mixes better when I do it like that, but that's just a personal preference. Try it how you want to try it and see what works for you. Now I'm going to show you the color dyes. So this is deep black. This is graphite. This is blue black. This is chestnut. This is light brown. This is just brown. And this is dark brown. When you use your Brunson products, make for sure you are aware of the time frame to use it on. When I use my Brunson products for the dye, I like to start here and then work my way up. Once I get here, I do not apply anything. I make for sure I take it from here, because if I've already applied enough to cover the brow, I just basically brush it in. Just like that. And I'll show that on Sunday's video. So, yeah. And I leave that on from 10 to 15 minutes. But I take this off at the front a lot sooner. And like I said, I'll let y'all know come Sunday. So make sure to tune in. And then whenever I was talking about the developer, this is what the developer looks like. This is how big the bottle is. I believe each of these were ranging from $12 to $15. And the developer was like $30 if I'm not mistaken. $25 or $30. Now, when I get ready, or when I'm done with the brows, I've already colored them and stuff like that. What I use to clean the brows up to make for sure that the tint's gonna lock in, it's gonna provide longevity, it's going to make for sure everything that we did will not be messed up. I use my color fixing lotion, or I also use my conditioner. So this will be first, and then the conditioner. Now the tools that I use when everything's all said and done, as far as the concealer palette, what I use to sculpt the brows, clean the brows, and stuff like that, will be the lip applicators. I like to use these sticks. And I also like to use these little small brushes. I like that you can take it off and cap this at the bottom, giving it a little bit more length. Now, when I use my concealer palette, this is the concealer palette that I like to use. This is the Buff Brows concealer palette. Now, you do not have to use this palette. Honestly and truly, you make the lamination product. So, if you feel like that product is too expensive for you, switch to a different product. I feel like this product works best for me. But I also feel like, you know, don't go buy from Amazon. Buy from an actual professional that is good and that can verify this. Another thing is too, your brushes. I use really any brush that I can find. e.l.f. brushes, Ulta brushes, makeup brushes. They all work the same in my opinion, especially when it's time to sculpt and color. I don't really put a preference on that. I mean, why spend a lot of money on brow brushes whenever you can save money and get stuff that you actually want? So I hope this video was helpful to a lot of y'all. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And turn your bell notification on to be notified when I post more videos. I do have a video dropping on Sunday, so I cannot wait for y'all to see that. And yeah, I will see y'all next time.